Visakha, known as the City of Destiny, is spread on the coast of Bay of Bengal in Andhra Pradesh. Being an abode of natural beauty, this city attracts a large number of tourists and is developing by leaps and bounds. Andhra University, which gained national prominence with its unique style of offering higher education, is situated in this city.
Hello everyone, hope you all are doing good. I welcome you all to a brand new episode of Gita, and I hope you all are doing good. Now I want to hand over the session to today's anchor, Swaran Raj. Over to you.
Hello, fellas. Good evening to one and all present here. This is Swaran of third year Triple E Department, Andhra University College of Engineering. Welcome back to a brand new episode of GITA. Hope you all doing great. Before I begin this, I want to thank one and all for staying true to GITA channel. I hope these sessions are helping you learn new things and motivating and providing sufficient knowledge related to studies and general things. I want to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P.V.G.D. Prasad Reddy Garu, and beloved Principal, Professor Peri Srinivas Rao Garu, for taking the initiative to start the AU Tech Talks, which are well liked by the students and the professors of Andhra University. I feel extremely privileged and honored to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Professor VVS Prasad Garu, who has 22 years of teaching experience. Currently, he is working as head of the Department Marine Engineering in Andhra University College of Engineering. Let me tell his achievements in a brief way. So he worked as assistant professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering, GITA University, Vizag from 1999 to 2000. He also worked as assistant professor in Department of Marine Engineering, AU, from 2000 to 2006. Later on, he worked as associate professor in Department of Marine Engineering, Andhra University from September 2006 to September 2012. So these are the teaching experience of Dr. VVS Prasad Garu. Coming to his research, he did his PhD on fabrication and characterization of palm fiber reinforced polymer composites. And he wrote some of the books which are very quite essential for the students. Let me tell those books. So namely, production technology, development of bio-based nanopolymer composite materials, and his one of the vital publication is 2020 lockdown effects and future trends in water body management. So Dr. Professor VVS Prasad Garu received national and international awards like Sri Visveswara Best Technical Paper Award in 2002, Colonel B.N. Bajpai Gold Medal by Journal of Institution of Engineers in 2007, Pratibha Puraskar Award in 2006 from Vice Chancellor Andhra University, Best Paper Award from Department of Ocean Engineering by IIT Madras, and Best Technical Paper Award by GLOMAS in 2019. He conducted three international and seven national conferences and environmental educations, etc., and two value-based programs, which are very helpful for the students. He guided 6 PhDs and 10 patents pursuing under his guidance. So hereby I welcome our distinguished guest and keynote speaker, Professor Dr. VVS Prasad Garu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. Good evening, one and all. This is Professor Prasad, working as the head of the Department of Marine Engineering, Andhra University College of Engineering, Andhra University, Visakhapatnam. Good evening, one and all. Today's lecture on marine engineering opportunities and challenges. Before going to the actual marine engineering, let us discuss about how the Department of Marine Engineering starts. About the Department of Marine Engineering, Andhra University, the idea of starting the marine engineering course was mooted because of age-old links of maritime trade and a long coastal line boasting enormous marine and oil wealth. The defense and protective needs of the country has destined Visakhapatnam to be not only a viable port city but also a center of learning of marine engineering and naval architecture. In the year 1963, with the concurrence of Ministry of Education, Ministry of Shipping and Transport, the Government of India, and the Director General of Shipping, Government of India, DG Shipping approval is essential for marine engineering and naval architecture engineering students. Marine engineering specialization was introduced in the form of electives to undergraduate students of mechanical engineering in the year 1963. The department is shining example of the coordination that exists between the university and the local marine and shipping organizations. Training programs for the engine or deck cadets of Dredging Corporation of India has been continuing since 1977 in the Department of Marine Engineering. On the occasion of Golden Jubilee celebrations of the university, the state-owned Hindustan Shipyard Limited instituted a chair of naval architecture studies to promote development activities in the respective areas. In the same celebrations, Visakhapatnam Port Trust also instituted a chair of material handling studies to promote development activities in the respective handling areas. In the year 1963, the undergraduate course was restructured with marine engineering as branch of engineering to cater the needs of the industry. With increasing offshore and onshore oil exploration activities and the potential wealth of marine resources, a 4 years naval architecture course was started in the year 1989 when there was no visible placement bonanza for naval architects. The alumni of development department and holding responsible positions in the merchant navy, Indian Navy, shipping, offshore industries in India, abroad, and marine industries. The department has an MOUs with the Institution of Marine Engineering, Naval Science Technological Laboratory, Visakhapatnam, Hindustan Shipyard Limited, Visakhapatnam, Dredging Corporation of India, Visakhapatnam. Okay. The main thing is the MOU started with IMEA, Visakhapatnam branch, is to start facilitation center at Visakhapatnam. There is no center in Visakhapatnam in and around Andhra Pradesh. So recently, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor PVGD Prasad Reddy Garu, he has agreed to start one facilitation center in Visakhapatnam. What are the organizations recruiting students of this department? Mainly Indian Navy, Mesgandak Limited Mumbai, DRDO mainly NSTL, NSDRC Visakhapatnam, Hindustan Shipyard Limited Visakhapatnam, Visakhapatnam Port Trust, Dredging Corporation of India, Bharati Shipyard Limited, Cochin Shipyard, Indian Registered Shipping, DNV, American Bureau of Shipping, L&T, and software companies like TCS, Wipro, and other companies related to core engineering. They are getting core engineering projects from abroad as well as in India. Courses offered by the Department of Marine Engineering. The first one is BTech Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering with the strength of 30 plus NRI faculty student. In case of PG, MTech, Marine Engineering and Mechanical Handling, 18 students. The eligibility criteria is through MSET for UC, GATE or PG set for PG admissions. Origin of the department. The department is actually merged in mechanical engineering. The marine engineering electives are started in the year 1963. Bachelor of Engineering McMarine started in the year 1971. Department Department of Marine Engineering bifurcated from the mechanical engineering in the year 1981, that is dividing in mechanical department and marine engineering department. At the time, there are two courses offered by the Department of Marine Engineering in the UG level. One is BE in Marine Engineering, the second one is BE in Naval Architecture. In the year 2009, we have merged these two branches and then we are calling as Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering with 30 students plus NRI candidates. Main research fields of this Department of Marine Engineering: biodiesels, computational and experimental acoustics, offshore structures, turbines, marine pollution, composites, manufacturing techniques, economic prediction, quantity models. Not only involved in faculty in research and teaching, but also involved in curriculum development, syllabus revisions, conducting training programs, short-term courses, workshops, industry institute interaction. These are seminars, R&D, and some consultancy, pursuing PhD programs, presenting technical papers in national and international level, attending conferences within country and abroad, attending refresher courses, training programs, pedagogical training in the prestigious institutes like IITs, IIMs, management programs at IIMs, delivering guest lectures as part of the knowledge sharing of industry and institution. Coming to the what is marine engineering? Human evolution and progress are largely endorsed by our ability to sail across oceans, both above and below the water surface. And the genuine use that makes this happen are mariners. The fields of nautical science and marine engineering are relatively new but have progressed significantly in the past few decades. Marine engineering is a branch of engineering that deals with construction and maintenance of ships and other sailing vessels. Naval architects are required to design and construction of various ships. This is the main difference between marine engineer and naval architect. Marine engineering for maintaining the mechanical equipment of seagoing crafts, decks, and harbor installations, but the naval architects are required to design and construction of various ships. Their job also involves studying the water conditions, determining the potential hazards, and finding solutions to overcome them. Marine engineering plays a significant role in the global market and in this blog. We were looking at all the major aspects of marine engineering, including its shop, scope, salary, job profiles, skill sets, career advancement opportunities, and much more. So let us delve right into it. What is the scope of marine engineering? Marine engineering is an emerging field with a massive scope for experimentation and career advancement. The shipping industry generates a myriad of career opportunities each year that are stable and lucrative. Skilled marine engineers have a rising demand in the global market. So, a recent report suggests that the employment rate of marine engineers will witness a 12% growth till 2026. The growth is faster than the average growth seen in all other occupations. Some companies where marine engineers land jobs, including shipping firms, Indian Navy, shipyards, Indian manufacturing companies, shipbuilding companies, ship design firms, maritime universities, research institutions, etc. Let us further explore the job profiles of marine engineers. Marine engineer job profiles and salary. Chief engineer, chief electrical officer, design engineer, navy personnel, maintenance engineer, port manager, marine surveyor, ship manager, ship operator, ICAR officer. So the main thing is the average salary of a marine engineer lies somewhere between Indian rupees between 3 to 5 lakhs per month. Although the salary may vary depends upon various factors including job profile, experience, merit, and the hiring company. Required skill sets for marine engineers. Apart from an affinity to the oceans and amazing swimming or driving skills, the following are the skills that are required for the field of marine engineering: reading comprehension, knowledge about mathematics, physics, and engineering concepts, design skills and critical thinking, effective spoken and written communication, knowledge about equipment, requirement and selection of equipment, cooperation and coordination, scientific skill, problem solving and analytical skill, quality control analysis, accurate judgment and decision making, experimentation and active learning skills, attention to details, time management. So, in short, a marine engineering or a marine engineer is a jack of all trades and master of all engineering branches. Benefits of choosing marine or maritime career. Marine engineering offers countless career benefits. Let's look at some of them mentioned below. Scope for experimentation, high demand in global market, lucrative career option, destinations globe, explore to diverse culture around the world. So if you consider the scope and experimentation, being an emerging engineering field, there is a lot of scope for experimentation and innovation with the constant technological and scientific developments. This scope keeps increasing with time. The second one is high demand in the global market. The global market is extremely fertile towards marine engineers with ever increasing trade relations between various countries. Lucrative career option. Marine engineers gets placed in some of the top national and multinational companies. Very often they get a chance to work overseas. This ensures a bounty of money and other career benefits. The next one is destinations growth. The field demands professionals to travel across the globe to various destinations. Apart from offering global exposure, this field is also grants an opportunity to explore the world while you are at work. Exposure to diverse culture around the world. Traveling the world includes meeting various people and getting to know their cultures and traditions. Not only that one, professionalism and adaptability, adventurous life. So if you consider professionalism and adaptability as a as this field has a global reach, professionalism and adaptability, why it is a PITO. It teaches individuals to smoothly work in teams with people of diverse backgrounds and adapting themselves to any situations or challenges that may occur during their service. Adventurous life, sailing across oceans is an adventure in itself, and working in the field ensures that you have a thrilling and adventurous lifestyle. This maritime career can be the best choice for those who are adventurous, have a passion to work overseas, have an affinity for the oceans, and are in search of career opportunities. The scope of this field keeps widening, especially with an increase in global trade. Explore numerous career avenues with Maharashtra Institute of Naval Education and Shining Pune Manage. Manage has tied up with 15 recruiter companies and has successfully placed over 300 cadets who are traveling worldwide. In recently, I am also visited Amit University. Amit University also tied up with few recruiter companies and have successfully placed over 4,000 cadets who are sailing worldwide. So they are giving this opportunity while before enter into the study. It opens door to an excellent career in the merchant navy for students who wish to build a successful maritime career. The institute has a ship in campus, which is a fully operational replica of a ship's engine rooms. Our cadets are trained in it to get a feel of actual shipboard engine room operations. This ensures practical exposure to cadets that prepares them for real-time challenges at sea with ultra-modern amenities and highly qualified staff. Manage is all set to create global leader to tomorrow. The tides of change. Why marine engineering must adapt to the new energy environment. Shipping has allowed us to adapt to new challenges and seek new opportunities down the millennia. And while the circumstances may change, the needs to innovate is ever present. Where would we be without ships? The millennium ships have been cornerstone of human civilization, whether hunting for new food sources, forging new trade routes, or discovering new lands. We have depends on the marine engineering and shipping industries to advance our societies, and they have duly responded by adapting to our evolving demands. Today, our needs are different. The challenges we face now aren't ones of discovery or new trade routes, they are ones of infrastructure and how our society produces and uses energy. The next important point is fossil fuel phase. For the past 50 years or so, the biggest marine engineering challenges have come from the oil and gas sector. The construction and operation of offshore platforms, the shipment of ever greater volumes of crude around the world, and the laying of the pipelines and umbilical cables that connect it all together, these have driven innovation. However, the oil and gas industry is a mature sector that has arguably reached its peak. Pressures of climate changes, a low oil price, and winding easily recoverable reserves have put a dampener on the industry. That's not to say that sector is in terminal decline or has no marine engineering challenges left to surmount. In the country, the growth of the floating production, storage, and operation that is nothing but FPSO vessel market requires various advances in cabling, chassis, and dynamic positioning. Likewise, the push to make deep water fields technically feasible and marginal fields economically viable requires a constant stream of innovation. And even in places where the industry is declining, there are still marine engineering challenges. No one could fail to be impressed by the pioneering spirit lifting the 24,000 tons platform from its legs, setting the world lifting record in the process. The record likely won't stand for a long. So innovation will continue in the industry, but oil and gas no longer enjoys homogeneity as the sole driver of marine engineering process, just as it no longer has a monopoly over energy supply. The next generation of ships and marine engineering projects will be serving a new sector. To start, look at the Horsina one wind farm due to start offshore construction in the year 2018 when complete 174 by 7 megawatt turbines will span an area 5 times the size of Hull, 120 kilometers off Yorkshire coast. This in turn will soon be equipped with four-part Jagger Bank project, which could end up with a total capacity of 4,800 megawatts. It's a very big project. Or a little further in the figure, consider the planned Iceland interconnector, 1,000 kilometers and potentially 1,000 megawatts subsea high voltage direct current, that is nothing but HVDC cable stretching from Scotland to Iceland. The lesson from this project that the biggest offshore engineering challenges in the near future are likely to come from renewable sector and interconnectors. Overwhelmingly, this means a shift from vessel built for laying rigid pipe and umbilical cable that serve the oil and gas industry to ones capable of laying hundreds of thousands of kilometers of high voltage cables. At face value, it's stable shift. The principle are similar. These vessels will require huge coils to spool the cable as they have for piping and advanced tensioner systems to keep the cable steady as it is unpulled onto the seabed. However, its scale is very different. Cabling is significantly heavier than the pipework. After all pipes of the hollow wire cables are full of various metals, including a lot of lead. This creates a host of engineering challenges. Firstly, the carousel needs to be upgraded. A typical carousel for oil and gas must have a tonnage capacity of measured in the hundreds or early thousands. Now we are no longer shocked to see cabling collars upwards of 7,000 tons. But it is not just a case of carrying more weight on the ship. While laying cables of pipes, it is essential to keep the cable's pipe steady, unspill too quickly, and it will be put under too much tension, too slowly that it could kink. This would be simple enough if we were talking about calm marine engineering setting, but in a harsh ocean environment of the facts is different. The lay of the cable safely at a steady pace, dynamic positioning systems must keep the ship in place, and the cabling equipment has to be capable of handling the pitch and have of the sea. This was true of pipeworks, but too becomes much harder with heavier, often inflexible cabling. However, perhaps the biggest challenge in that where the oil and gas fleets products are fairly uniform. Cable line requires much more bespoke design. The heavier processor limits the options for where to be placed it on the ship, which has knock-on effects for fitting in the surroundings equipment too. As such, the entire deck layout comes down to the specific characteristics of the cable. This is driving much more tailored vessel solutions for each industry. What's more, in all this, there are almost zero margin for error. Imagine the carousel fire halfway through a lake. It can't move forward to go back. It will damage the cable. It has to hold its position until the equipment is fixed. If a storm came in as it waited, the vessel might be forced to cut the cable for the sake of ship and the crew safety, returning to repair it later. If that was an export cable to wind from dozens of kilometers out, the cost could be easily approaches $50 million euros. For that reason, every single component must be subjected to incredibly stringent quality assurance processes throughout the supply chain. Anything else risk catastrophe. More on the horizon, these challenges are only going to increase. In 10 years, the 7,000 tons parcel that seems so gargantuan today will seems unremarkable. That because wind farms are evolving, for example, compared to Yorkshire projects, this existing westmost rough wind farm and the aforementioned Horsina one. Westernmost operational since 2015 lies 8 kilometers of the coast, over 35 kilometers, and constitutes 35 into 6 megawatt turbines compares that back to horizon. One of one statistics, 120 kilometers of the coast covers 470 kilometers back and constitutes 174 into 7 watts megawatts turbines. That translates a lot of extra cabling as wind farms grow in area. There needs to be more cabling between turbines as they are developed further. Offshore cables needed to be longer and higher voltage to export power back to land. And as turbine becomes more powerful and total export capacity increases, the cable becomes thicker and heavier again. In fact, one will involve 900 kilometers of high voltage AC cabling, enough to make its longest offshore wind cabling system in the world. The equipment of the land and John Institute. Bear in mind too, the westernmost rough has been operational since 2015 and housing is due to start construction next year. The splitting rate of the change when you consider what's happening in the interconnected world too. It won't be long before the industry sees its first five-figure tonnage. This will create real challenges of further marine engineering and shipbuilding industries. As tonnage increases, there will be as the tonnage increases, there will be a fewer viable existing vessels for conversion. So shipbuilders can expect orders for larger new built vessels designed for maximum stability in rough sea. Marine engineers, for their part, will be occupied designing even more advanced cruisers, tensioning, and related equipment to handle increasingly strenuous cable requirements, not forgetting the shoreside equipment needed to be load the vessel in the first place. As society changes, the way it approaches energy, the marine engineering and shipbuilding industries will change with it, adapting to serve new sectors and meet new challenges. After all, it's what they have always done. It's impossible to row against the tides of changes. And other challenges of shipping jobs. According to the classification of the shipping jobs or working at sea has been classified as one of the 10 most dangerous jobs in the world. Although, as an outsider, it might sound surprising, but nothing but considering how people think as if he has a glamorous job. Ask a seaman, and he would enumerate various difficulties attached with the job. Careful examination of the prospective hazards makes one realize that this job is not for the weak hearted. Those who get homesick easily are those who find it difficult to work in a harsh environment. In every kind of profession, there are variety of professional hazards to deal with, and a person's ability to perform any particular job is tested on the basis of his response to these hazards. Similarly, there are ways to deal with the professional problems faced on the ships, and one should not be discouraged to take up an existing and rewarding career in the merchant navy. Strict physical fitness is of utmost importance as any kind of shipping job is quite enduring, and the hardships that one usually faces cannot be coped with without a health conditions that borders impossibility. Ships are always in a state of motion, be it the usual swing movement or heavy rolling or pitching. The constant motion leads many to motion sickness, which is not very simple issue to deal with even for those with the best sea legs. Severus exposes the ship's crew to extreme temperature and weather conditions, especially during long journey spanning many countries or continents, such as long voyages takes the ships to the bitter cold Alaska or Scandinavia, and also to the hot and humid conditions of the tropical regions or the Persian Gulf. A seafarer working on the ship should be fit enough to face any kind of weather and work in any kind of environment. Accidents tends to occur frequently on the ship and are a part and parcel of shipping jobs. The most frequent ones are often related to people falling into the sea, falling onto the deck, in the engine room, or from any of the ship's structure while working. Moreover, there are large number of mechanical and electrical equipment on the ship's deck and the engine rooms, and they have to be used very careful. With the advancement technology, ships now have several machinery, systems, tools on board. Seafarers are thus required to deal with such complex and hazardous machinery on the daily basis. The physical health of the seaman is at risk in all the time because of the extreme tolling conditions, long and continuous exposure to direct sunlight or harsh weather while working on the decks, extremely high temperatures, a noisy environment in the engine room can lead to health complications. Long and close exposure to ultraviolet radiation from the ship's radar and radio have also been noted as one of the reasons for health problems in the past. On some ships, the inner cabins and living quarters of the ships are not very airy and ventilated. They are at times noisy and hot, which is perfect conditions for the growth of germs, and only truly healthy man with perfect immune system can face it. Although shipping companies take all the care possible for their crew and provides them with the best of what is available. It is the condition of the sea, the harsh and ever changing weather, and continuous working hours which make shipping jobs difficult. A shipping job also attracts many physical, many psychological problems for those who cannot keep up with hectic scheduling and lifestyles. Adding to them are professional politics and conflicts that arise between seafarers that make living on board ships more difficult. These are some problems, but there are some other opportunities for the students as marine engineers or naval architects. So, organization recruiting students or marine engineers of this department is in Indian Navy, Mesgandak Limited, DRDO, Defense Sector, NSDRC, Hindustan Shipyard Limited, Visakhapatnam, Port Trust, Cochin Shipyard, Calcutta Shipyard, Dredging Corporation of India Limited, Bharati Shipyard, Cochin Shipyard Limited, IRS, DNV, American Bureau of Shipping, LNT. These are hardcore jobs. Software jobs also available for mariners. Are the recruiters are TCS, Infosys, and other companies. Working on the ship is difficult but not impossible. Though there are several factors that leads to physical, psychological stress among seafarers, people working on ships must take the right attitude to break the monotony and improve interpersonal relationships on ships and work together towards keeping their mind and body fit. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. My sincere thanks to Professor Mallikarjun Rao, Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Andhra University College of Engineering Autonomous, Andhra University, Visakhapatnam. Thank you.
Thank you one and all for spending some time with us. Hope this session provide you such a general knowledge relating to studies and all the stuff. So I think there are no questions. So hereby I am we are ending this session. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Professor Prasad Garu, for giving a wonderful talk, sir. I hope this talk is really helpful for the students who wants to pursue their career in marine engineering, and also this talk will be helpful for many students who are looking forward to start their career in marine engineering, sir. Thank you, sir. And I also want to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Garu, Professor P.V.G.T. Prasad Reddy Garu, and also our below Principal Garu, Professor Peri Srinivas Rao Garu, for giving this a wonderful opportunity of launching this platform, and also successfully is being done since 1 year. Thank you all. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.